Good evening, this is STV News. The Japanese government welcomes the formation of a diplomatic and security team solidified by the next U.S. President Joe Biden. This is because the members who serve as a key post in the former Obama administration are listed, and the stance of emphasizing the Japan-U.S. alliance and international cooperation has become clear. However, the diplomatic policy of the new administration has not yet been seen in China, and concerns are smoldering. I have a deep insight into foreign policy and have contributed to the strengthening of the Japan-U.S. alliance. Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi commented on his counterpart, Secretary of State candidate Blinken, at a press conference on the 24th. The free and open Indo-Pacific, led by Japan and the United States, was devised as a concept to counter China's One Belt, One Road economic zone initiative. But Mr. Biden prospered in a telephone conversation with Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. I use another expression, stable Indo-Pacific. The Japanese side has been unable to measure the subtle changes in wording, and the Prime Minister and his colleagues say that matching the perception of China is the first mountain in building relationships. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga gave a lesson at an invasion inspection ceremony held at the Air Self-Defense Force Iruma Air Base on the 28th. He pointed out that it is difficult for individual organizations and institutions to deal with the urgent need for security, to deal with new areas such as space, cyber, and electromagnetic waves. He added, it is important to eliminate the vertical division of the organization and work beyond the boundaries of the land, sea, and air self-defense forces. He also emphasized that he will hold the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics next summer as a proof that humankind has overcome the new coronavirus. The inspection ceremony of the self-defense forces is held every year by each self-defense force of land, sea, and air. The last aviation inspection ceremony in 2017 was canceled due to the bad weather. So this time, it will be held for the first time in 6 years. In addition to reducing the burden on the troops, the scale was reduced in consideration of the spread of the new coronavirus infection, and no exhibition flight was conducted. Government announced on the 28th that it has confirmed 561 new cases of coronavirus infection. Beds for people infected with the new coronavirus are becoming tighter, and some are approaching a crisis. According to Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, the bed usage rate as of the 25th was worse than a week ago in 40 prefectures. In 15 prefectures, it was more than 25%, and the spread of infection reached the second most serious stage 3 level. The medical field is being driven and that the situation is very serious, said an expert. An expert organization of the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare pointed out that it has become difficult to balance corona medical care and regular medical care in parts of Hokkaido, the metropolitan area, the Kansai area, and the Chubu area. If this situation continues, the lives that can be saved will not be saved, he said, with a strong sense of crisis. The party leader debate between Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, president of the Liberal Democratic Party, and the leader of the opposition party has been postponed. The current diet session will end on December 5, is as short as 41 days, and the opposition has prioritized intensive deliberation by the People's Budget Committee. Prime Minister Suga's first appearance has been carried over to ordinary session of the Diet next year. The regular day of the party leaders' debate is Wednesday, and it is customary not to hold it during the week when the Prime Minister attends the plenary session and the Budget Committee. It is a rule to decide to hold it by the previous week. The Prime Minister is scheduled to take the stage at the Upper House plenary session on the 30th of the week, and senior Constitutional Democratic Party official stated on the 27th that he could not ask for the event. However, at the current Diet Budget Committee, the Prime Minister's response to the Science Council of Japan issue and measures against the new coronavirus was repeated. And the opposition party was also aggressive. Constitutional officials are eager to hold the session in the ordinary Diet session, saying, if you hold party leader debate, you will be given a boost to Mr. Edano. Kenichi Kato, 40, who is the representative director of the General Incorporated Association Yamagata Barrier Free Sightseeing Tour Center, announced at the press conference in Yamagata City on the 28th that he would run for the next House of Representatives election from Yamagata's 2nd District. On the same day, he applied for official recognition to the Democratic Party for the People. He says he will seek recommendations from other positions parties. On the 28th, Minister of Health, Labor and Welfare, Norishi Tamura, announced that they would extend the treatment of the new coronavirus as a designated infectious disease under the Infectious Diseases Control Law, which is due by the end of January next year. I think we will continue in the form of designated infectious diseases for the time being until the characteristics of the virus become clear, he said in a Yumiru TV program that appeared on the same day. In February of this year, the government enforced a government ordinance designating the new corona as a designated infectious disease. This made it possible to recommend hospitalization and restrict employment of affected patients. Minister of Health, Labor and Welfare, Tamura, pointed out that the infection has been spreading repeatedly and we are not in a stable situation. The law stipulates that it can be extended for 1 year, but did not specify the period. Yuta Watanabe, 26, who became a free agent after the two-way contract with the Grizzlies of the American Basketball Association, NBA, has ended, will join the Raptors camp from December on the 27th, the media and others reported. Aiming to enter the roster for the 2020-21 season, which is scheduled to start on December 22nd. Watanabe played in 18 games last season in the Grizzlies, averaging 2.0 points and 1.1 rebounds per game. And that's all for today. See you tomorrow for another news update.